it's your friend Steve. Hello. I don't know. I've been on a good roll lately, so I do apologize for I think this might be a little late of an episode. But sometimes I just don't feel like talking. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you just have like I'm not in a bad mood, actually, relatively great. I'm doing great. Everything's golden. I mean, I got a lot of sun yesterday. So people are going to tell me, oh, we got sunglasses. I have incaved eyes. So, like, the sun doesn't get in here. It gets here and it gets here. Like, it doesn't get to here. I have sunken eyes. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just my face. It is what it is. But anyway, good week. Fun, exciting week. So I like to go out. I only have like really 2 days off, to be honest with you. I'm either doing one thing or another, and I'm doing like all these like little tasks, whatever. So I only have like really 2 days off a week, which is actually better for me because I do eBay, and then I do some other things, and then I do YouTube. So like every day I do that, and I have a night job that I go to. So yeah. So I usually only have Tuesdays and Sundays. And then Sundays I usually end up like, doing yard work or nonsense. Actually though, really technically on my days off, I'd rather do nothing. That's my thing. I want to do nothing. So I usually just do yard work when I have to work at night. But anyway, I don't know why this is like all boring. There's nothing interesting happening here. It's just my day-to-day life, if you were interested in that. Some people are actually, I mean, I think I'd like to know, like, certain people, like, if they were like, I'm gonna tell you I wake up this, I wake up that, I'd be like, okay, I'm into that. I like to know a little bit backstory. Excuse me, I had jalapenos last night. I'm getting old. I got a pizza, and I was like, you know what, make half of that pizza hot as fuck. And now I regret it. It's been a real bad morning. I won't fill you in with details. I did that to my toilet. But anyway, so it's been an interesting week. So anyway, I went on Tuesday. I had a couple edibles. Actually, fuck it, I do edibles. You know what? The main reason I never really admitted my drug use was I don't like my mother to know that I do drugs. I know I'm like almost 40 years old. Yeah. I'm old enough. I mean, and not at the end of the day, I don't think she really gives a fuck. But I like my mother to think I'm a good young boy. And that I'm not young and I'm not a boy. But I like her to not know all my secrets. I don't like honestly, like, if you told me even like 2 years ago that I would do a podcast where I would admit to half the things I admit to on here, I would be like, you're fucking crazy. Because I've always been a bit of a fucking loner secret keeper. But, like, I mean, I let certain aspects, like, no one really knows my whole personality. Everyone gets a little snippet of Steve. Like, I don't let anybody fully in because I don't like to be broken. And also, I don't really like myself that much. I mean, I don't hate myself, but I'm flawed, and like, people never tell me my flaws, and I see my flaws. So I don't like people to know everything. But anyway, I'm getting better at that. I mean, obviously, my podcast. I mean, I told you, I've been telling you guys some really fucking dirty secrets of mine. I have still more to go, but I'm just gonna keep some of them to secrets till I die. Anyway, it got dark. I don't know why this got dark all of a sudden. Anyway, so Tuesday I went out to my local watering hole. I was like, you know what? It's Tuesday. I mean, I've been having a good week. I did really good this week on YouTube. I mean, I got like 3 videos in a row. I got like, I don't like to brag about this, by the way, but it is part of my life. I got like 4,000 views on like 3 straight videos, which is like very impressive for me. I mean, I usually like get like 1K a day, maybe like 2 videos have like 2K, 1K, get like about, a good amount a day. And then sometimes I get like 3 views. But anyway, it's a process, people. So I was like, I'm feeling myself. I'm having a little bit of luck with the ladies. Still not getting laid. I have not gotten laid in a year. Let's be honest with each other. I talk to ladies and I get to the phase where we're like really into it, and then I do or say something that just fucks it all the fucking way off. But anyway, I'm getting better at it. I'm not getting better at it. So I was like, you know what? I'm doing good. I'm going to fucking go have a beer too. And I took like 4 edibles, which is not recommended for me. Like 2 edibles, I'm really fucked. 4, I don't know why I did. I did it. I don't know why. But anyway, I went up there and I ran into some fucking lovely fucking people. Some people I love to fucking death. And we're talking. And it's a group of guys and 2 girls. And we're just like joking, laughing. And then you're in a group of guys, there's one phrase that changes the whole night. And it doesn't happen often. It depends on the group of guys you're with. But every so often, one man says a phrase. And then everyone, if you're a real bro, you throw down. If you're not a real bro, you make excuses. And I've been drinking and I was really high. And I just was a real bro. One of my friends, a good friend, said, "It's kind of dead here. I wonder," I said, "we should probably," no, he said. Then he said, "We should go to a strip club." And that was the night. That was that changes everything, right? That was like, fucking, it's over. Like, yep, we're either all doing it or we're going to talk about how we should have done it 2 days later. So I said, well, I'm high as fuck. I'm going. Actually, I said I kind of want to go, but I'm not drunk enough. And then one of my good friends, this beautiful, beautiful boy, he's a young man. But anyway, beautiful man, homosexual man. We're just going to call him H. Because I don't want to use people's names. And I don't want to out people. I don't know his truth. I mean, he's always been honest with me, but, who knows? If I say his name and then, God forbid one of his family members watches this and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know H was gay." And you're like, oh shit, well, my bad. Anyway, so H was like, and I said, well, I'll go if H goes, because I want to see a homosexual man in a strip club. And I like dirty, dirty, dirty strip clubs. And I want to see his reaction. And I'm high as fuck. So I'll go if he goes. So then, eventually, everyone got talked into going. So we went to a strip club. We went on an adventure. And it was interesting. Because I don't like strip clubs. It's petting zoos for humans. And then we're like, I'll give you this if you show me attention. And then I feel weird about it. Then I'm like, what if I don't get a boner? What if I'm like, she dances on me and it's like, then she feels bad about it. And then I feel bad about it. Because then I'm like, why didn't I get a boner? But I've only been to like 3 strip clubs. I know I have a face of a person that frequents strip clubs because I can't get attention from women. Apparently, the internet thinks I'm a virgin, which is fine. I could be a virgin. I'm fine with that. Anyway, so I was like, okay, I'll go. So we went to a strip club on a Tuesday, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. I said, wait a minute, stop. Let's go. I gotta go home real quick because 3 years ago, pre-COVID, my ex-boss took me to a strip club, and that was an interesting night. He drank breast milk from a bartender, not from a stripper. I mean, like a post-pregnant stripper. Bartender gave him like breast milk. I was like, oh, that's gross. Anyway, he's a crazy dude. I hope I could get him on the podcast because he's a fucking Sherpa of mine. But anyway, so I was like, this strip club has really dirty memories of mine. And so we went in. It was a Tuesday. I don't know why we were expecting it to be popping. So we sat down, and another friend of mine, I will call him Big Pimp Daddy G, whose idea was to go on here, was like, oh, here's some money. I was like, oh, I don't really need that. And he's like, no. Throw some money at the girls, whoever you like. And I was like, okay. And here's the problem. I like thick women. I like them thick. I like my steaks with a little fat on it. You know what I mean? A little juicy G. I think all women are beautiful. If they're very skinny, that's on them. I mean, they still beautiful to me. Just not my thing, right? I'm waiting for like the big titty personality girl to come on. Like, because every stripper club has like the one that's like, maybe you shouldn't be stripping anymore because you got a little thick. But that's me. I mean, you're in my wheelhouse then. That's like, I want to like throw money at a big titty girl that I like potentially could have sex with, right? The like really super hot skinny ones that have like no titties. I'm like, I'm never gonna like actively try to fuck you. So I'm like, eh. But then I feel bad sitting there. So I was like waiting for someone to go to the thing. And then H went up there and I was like, oh, it's on. Like H went up there. Now I'm going to have to go up there because I want to see his interaction with these women. So we sit down and this like very beautiful Russian. She looked very Russian, blonde, skinny blonde, not my type. But so she was out there and we were like talking. And I was like, oh, she's got like, I'm going to try to like make a conversation with her because it's awkward just to stare at a woman while she dances, which is the whole object of being at a strip club. So she starts dancing and then I know she has a tattoo. It looked like Frank the Bunny from Donnie Darko, which is one of my favorite movies. I said, oh, that's a cool Frank the Bunny tattoo. And she goes, it's not Frank the Bunny. I was like, oh, well, that's negative energy I wasn't expecting. I said, oh. And I was like, then I instantly was like, I'm super high. I'm going to try to make her laugh. And I goes, I don't know if my preacher would appreciate me tipping a girl with the devil on her chest. Thoughting, being a religious man in a strip club, the irony of that. Thought it was funnier in my head. And she goes, it's not the devil. And I said, oh. I was like, what? She's like, it's just a demon. I was like, oh, so I'm just like tipping middle management. No response. She was just like, fuck you. Pretty much like, I'm just going to shake nothing that I have. I was like, oh, okay. Well, this is like, every time I go to a strip club, it's always a positive thing. And they're always really nice to me. But this one was not nice. She did not like being there. She was a very angry woman. And I was like, okay, well, I got to go. And then we were like sitting there and everyone's like, oh, you need to throw money. I was like, oh, well, I mean, I feel bad, like, because I know they're there to make money. But, like, if you're not my cup of tea, I feel guilty giving you money. Like, I feel like I should give the cup of tea, I should give the money to my cup of tea. But none of my cup of tea was there. So then I just threw the money away. I was like, I don't really care about this. But then I, like, cashed in my fucking wad of things. I was like, well, here's your communist money back that I can't use anywhere else. And I got my money back. So it, like, turned out to be, like, a net positive event where I made money from going to a random strip club, even though it was, like, my money that I had spent earlier. But, whatever. It was a fun night, though, because we were all in a circle laughing, and then there was just creepy old men, like, whose lives it is to go to a strip club on a Tuesday. Like, you just go to a bar and, like, hit on, like, young, attractive women, and you'll get the same results, I think. Because the strippers aren't going to fuck you either. Like, everyone should know, if you go to a strip club, you are definitely not getting laid. There's like a 1% of people that go to strip clubs that the strippers are like, oh yeah, I'm going to fuck them. Because every stripper I've ever had like a meaningful conversation with usually don't like men. Because you can't have that job and like men. Like men, you're seeing men at our absolute worst, where like sex is semi on the table and we're just like, primates throwing dollars at you. And then most people that go to strip clubs aren't like rich and aren't spending the money that you need them to spend. So it's like an overall just a gross experience. But you have to go to like one strip club in your life. If you're a dude, maybe like twice. But it's not a fun experience. So this is my week. So the beginning of the week I did that, right? This is my personality. A piece of shit pervert is the beginning of the week. And then yesterday, my friends dragged me. I was also on 4 edibles. I went to a watermelon festival, which was like, very little watermelon. A lot of dogs, though, which was awesome. I love dogs. Because we were going there, and then this dude, like like, we just hear, like, woof, 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 woof. I'm like, oh, shit. It's a fucking, like, one of my friends was like, oh, it's a fucking dog. And I was like, oh, shit, hell yeah. And I turned around. It was just a dude barking at us. Like, if you're barking at people and then people turn around and it's just a mid-looking dude, people are going to be mad. People thought dogs were going to be president, and you fucking just made these dogs be president. I smell a sitcom. Or at least a movie. Air Bud president? Is that a thing? Like a basketball superstar becomes president of the United States? I mean, we've had worse. Anyway, but yeah, he was just barking at us. I was like, oh, well, this is like, and I was just like, and I started talking to him. I was like, hey, don't do that. People expect dogs. Don't disappoint people. And everyone, like, someone said dog. I was like, he's not that bad looking. He's actually not a bad looking dude. Maybe mid attractive. Just need a better personality, because you can't be barking at people. And all my friends were like, dude, you're way too high. And I was like, yes, I'm way too high. So we went to a watermelon festival. Then I ran into, like, some cool people. I ran into, like, this beautiful woman. Beautiful. And, like, I love to talk to, like, everybody. But something about this woman is just, like, whew, because she's so nice. We've only had, like, 3 conversations. And super nice and intelligent. And I told her, I was like, it sucks that, like, you're so hot, but, like, the best thing about you isn't even your looks. Like, you're fucking funny and smart. And I wasn't hitting on her. I was kind of hitting on her, but, like, you know, I just like to pump people up because, you know, some people need to be pumped up. This world is too negative of a place. We need to, like, pump, especially good people. And not just attractive people. All good people need to be pumped up. We need to show everyone that this world is beautiful. And we can change it. And you're like, oh, you can't change the world. Yeah, you can. Because you're nice to 1, 2, 3. Every day of your life, if you're nice to somebody, that person's going to be like, oh, shit, that person was, like, really nice to me. Maybe I should be nice to someone. And then it goes on and on and on. And it's just a beautiful thing. Because this world, that's the greatest thing about weed, is, like, we really should just go outside and, like, oh, shit, like, look at this fucking grass. Look at these trees. Look at the sky. Like, we should appreciate nature, but we just go from work, home, and then complain about traffic and complain about this. But at the end of the day, like, we really all lucked the fuck out. We all got to go to a beautiful place where we're all just here, surviving. We're all on a fucking floating rock. We should be kind to each other. All people. Everybody. Anyway. But yeah, it was just a good week. And then I was, like, really, like, I was so thankful. Sorry. I feel like I have, like, film on my eye. I don't know. I'm just a fat man that's sweating his ass off and that has a fan on. So if you hear my fan, I do apologize. But anyway. Yeah, it's just been a weird week. And then, I'll tell you this story and then we'll be done. So this girl, we'll call her N. Not N-word. N. Oh my God. Before I do that, let me tell you this story. It's been a fucked up week with women. So, Sunday we were going to the Watermelon Festival. So I got an Uber because I was on, like, 3 edibles and I was like, okay, well, let's not fucking do anything stupid. So I got in an Uber. I'm sorry. A car service not to be named. So I got in there, and beautiful. Like, the Uber driver was such a beautiful, what's the word I can use? Brown person? Black person? Whatever we're not offended by. So I started talking to her, and she's like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, oh, you know, it's Sunday. It's a beautiful day. I think I'm just going to go have a couple drinks with a friend, day drink, and, you know, have a good merry time and enjoy life. And we're talking, and she's like, oh, I'm from Atlanta, and I don't have any friends here. And I was like, well, you're way too nice and beautiful to be wasting away at this, like, you know, job. I mean, make your money Monday through Saturday. Even the Lord took a break on Sunday. And then, you know, come enjoy it. And she's like, oh, you're right. She's like, I just don't have any friends. I said, well, we could be friends. And I have friends there, and they're very cool. And, a stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet. She's like, oh, yeah, you're right. And she was feeling it. I was like, all right. She's cute. I'm cute, And we're talking. And then she's like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm going to have a couple drinks. And then my buddy's coming with his food truck. I'm going to eat that food, which was also delicious, by the way. And then we're going to go to and I was like, oh no, I can't say we're going to a watermelon festival to an African-American woman. She's like, oh, what a fucking race. Either way, I'm either a racist or she's like, oh, he's trying to he thinks if he brings up watermelons, I'm going to be into it. So I'm like, oh, fuck. So then I was like, oh, undecided. Anyway, she didn't come. That's all right. You know what? Sometimes you just gotta be nice to people. Like I said, be nice to people. She was a very beautiful person, inside and out. We were having a wonderful conversation, and I just wanted her to come have a good time, because we need people to have a good time. The world's there's way too many shitty people, and all the good people don't use their good for their powers. Good powers for good. Good powers for good. I don't know. Anyway. I love you guys. Peace and love. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell 5. If everyone tells 15 friends to follow me and watch my podcast, you just make my day. Anyway, peace and love. Let's drink. Let's have a drink this week to Olivia Newton-John. She's the one that we want. Oh. It's just sad. Just a sad death. Anyway, peace and love. Driving that Cadillac to the sky. And then as always, fuck Hitler.